Daniel.
Hi, how are you? I just recently joined this year as new CEO of Graphisoft.
Steep learning curve?
It is a steep learning curve. It's a global business, I learn a lot, but now the curve gets a little bit less steep, so it's good.
Ah, good. And eased somewhat, I bet, by these lovely surroundings.
Gabor Boyard, the founder of the business, he also founded Graphisoft Park.
Yeah.
And he had the idea after the Iron Curtain fall.
In the early 90s.
Yes, and everybody was fleeing away to the Western countries. So
and everyone wanted to head to the fancy West.
Yes, absolutely.
Right,
So
yes.
he said, let's create an environment where people love to work. Now look around, there are a lot of tech firms also from the US here. So it's the Silicon Valley of Budapest.
Right. Now, your founder, Gabor,
Yes.
interesting character. He started a software company in communist Hungary in the early 80s.
He established the business in 1982, and this turned out to be 40 years later the leading building information modeling software on the globe.
Now, Daniel, here's where this story gets really interesting. A couple of years into the business, still a very small company, and Gabor meets this guy, Steve Jobs, at a trade show.
Yes, he met him in 1984 at a trade show in Germany, and he was requesting a 5-minute presentation slot.
Really? He got a one-on-one with Steve Jobs for 5 minutes?
Yes, but it turned out to be a 30-minute presentation because Steve was so fascinated what they have done on an Apple computer that he invested into Graphisoft. So he supported with money. He opened up his distribution network and put our software on Apple computers.
Now, wait a second. This is Gabor who's running a company in a communist country. Is this all above board?
Well, it was not that easy to bring that PC over. The device was put into pieces. They dragged the pieces into the suitcase, moved it over the border, smuggled it over, and then reassembled it here in Budapest.
My goodness, a real espionage job.
Yeah.
And I understand still today that relationship still exists with Apple and Graphisoft.
Yes, Apple is super important for Graphisoft, and if you like Apple and if you're an architect, then Graphisoft is the package for you.
So now, some 40 years on, how many customers have you got?
Well, Mike, we do not have customers, we have fans.
Fans?
Yes.
That's how you think of them. In fact, I think I've met some of your fans actually filming this show around the world, and they do really love it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's our ambition every day, to make our customers better and help them to create great buildings.
Now, what's next? What's the future?
Well, artificial intelligence obviously is a topic which is
boy.
driving almost everybody, but also sustainability, the carbon footprint of buildings.
Okay, and I see this big map behind us. How many buildings have been designed with your program?
Starting from small residential buildings up to stadiums or hospitals, we help to create more than 1 million buildings.
Oh, wow. Now, Tibor, there's guys like you in this building here in Budapest that are thinking about the architect, but also the architect's client, the customer as well.
That's absolutely right, but the list is even bigger. Because if you think about it, there's way more participants in this process. You have the structural engineers, the MEP engineers, the sustainability designers, and the list is endless.
And I guess they've all got to collaborate in your program in ArchiCAD.
So what if I say that you can access these models from your phone?
Oh, so here's my house I've commissioned.
And here is the model.
Yeah.
Accessible all the time.
What's that, a special thing or just an app?
This is just an app. It's freely available for everyone, and it's always up to date because the information is coming from the cloud.
So Tibor, herein lies the problem for me as the person who has commissioned the house, that you can't communicate with me like this, with black lines.
Push that.
That button there?
How do you like that?
Whoa.
So it's the drawing in the context of the model.
That's crazy.
You don't need this big bunch of paper on the construction site. You only have this one, and all your drawings, all your models, always up to date, is with you.
Yeah. I can communicate kind of in this team of all these professionals. Me as the owner of the house can be another one.
Exactly. The client becomes a productive member of the design team from the very beginning using this tool.
Now, what about AI? The thing that's on everybody's lips. Daniel was mentioning it's a big thing in the future here.
Yeah, so this is a hot topic, I guess. Everybody's talking about AI.
I'm sorry, I had to ask.
Let me show you the results of a competition. So this is our very first AI product called AI Visualizer. Let me explain how they have been done. All you need is maybe a couple of simple shapes, and in a matter of 1 or 2 minutes, you will get all these images. Here is a prompt: a dirty, grimy, rainy, smoky, dystopian city on a narrow street with crowds. So our main goal with this is inspiring the architect, but not just the architect, anyone who is involved in the process, because it's easy to use, it doesn't require any specific knowledge, and you can create millions of variations and find the best design option for your team.